Hello law aspirants, the students, the graduates, the pupils, the scholars and my apprentice disciples and the person who is a grad, a learner, a novice, a beginner, a recruit, a rookie, a skill, somebody who is learner, somebody who is in the scale of going higher and higher, novice, greenhorn and a person who is a novice. Yes, because we are all novices of this world. We are learners, and a person who accepts that he or she is a learner will always climb the ladders of success. He always has an ascending scale, moving higher and higher, right? So let's start with our words for today for this Hindu vocabulary. We'll be soon coming with the tones of the passage as promised to you, and it is not that we'll break our promise, we'll keep to that. The words that we have done, this was the last class that we had these words, and we have the next words that are coming up today because they were very important for the tone of the passage: deplorable, something which is skeptical and reprieve, right? So you have to keep this in mind very prominently, deliberately, don't skip it. The next word that we have for today, that is disrupt. Please note the roots that we have for today. The root dis is not, rupt is break, right? D is negative, under is less, co is together, and resolve is determined. Subs is important. Something which is very important for today's scenario, disruptive. Disruptive is which is a deranged state. It is an interruption. Have you heard of poking one's nose in someone's matter, getting into something, an event or an activity or a process? It's by causing a disturbance or a problem to something. It's hamper, it's impede, it's derange or disarrange something. That is the word we use for disrupt. When you are not in an organized manner, in a very shuffled manner. See, when we use these words, we have you heard of this topic which we are also going to do in English section? This is very important for the AILET section, that is shuffled or sentences to be rearranged, shuffled sentences or in a chaotic manner. So that means, I'm sorry for this, CHAO. Chaotic. I don't want to go for a wrong spelling. It's better to cut and write again instead of going for a wrong thing, right? So it's a stage of acting as something which is not in a proper order, something which is a problematic state, interrupting state. The opposite would be organize and arrange. You have to arrange the sentence in the proper scenario. Yes, you have to do that in the right perspective. Next word is undermine. Undermine is lessen the effect of something, make something less. Please note the word sabotage. Sabotage means to destroy something, completely remove, threaten or weaken that thing. Don't allow that thing to happen. You diminish that thing. You deteriorate that thing. Right? You make it into pieces, making a mincemeat and weaken that thing. You hamper that thing. It's all in a negative scenario. You lessen the effect, power of ability or something. It's an insidious thing. It's a subvert. It's a sabotage. It's threaten or weaken, compromise or diminish something, make something less. That would be undermine. Encroach. Don't encroach upon someone's time. Don't encroach on someone's property. You know, trespass, very important legal term, trespass, intrude into. You know, intrude don't intrude into my matter, don't intrude into anybody's property, get into by force. This is something which is a trespassing event. It is something you impede, you advance gradually beyond usual or acceptable limit. You intrude, you trespass, you impinge that thing, right? Convene. Convene is come or bring together for a meeting or an activity. It is assemble somebody, summon. Have you heard of this word? I want to take this word and explain you very. There is a word vacation. We all know vacation. We are longing that CLAT is over, you all selected and we wait for that vacation. There is another word, vocation. Vocation is profession, the call of duty. And from the root walk, that is call, and note this word, invocation. Invocation would mean that is the call of God. You have to be there because God wants you to be there. That's an invocation. That is the word you call on something, that is invoke. Summon, it's a legal term. Convoke, voking, and it's a call and an order. You have to be there. You can't miss that thing. It has to be there. It's to assemble in that. Resolution. Resolution is firm and determined about something. Please note the synonyms for the word resolution. Resolution is stick to your ground. Firm, stickler, steadfast, right? You are resolute about something, you don't want to change, you are very determined about it, strong in your decision. Intention, resolve, decision, intent is the firm resolution, right? It's something which cannot deter you from your path. Nothing can deter you from it. If your resolution, don't let the hue of resolution become weak, become less. Substantive is very important, major, considerable, important, having firm base in reality, very important, and something which is major or important. The opposite is inconsequential, inconsiderable, insignificant, not important, insubstantial, negligible or nominal. Right? Taking up the next words for today. Disrupt. Don't disrupt or interrupt in between. This is the words that is repeated things that I have taken. I take up the next in this, that is the word substantive. Substantive is having a firm base or very strong in something. Arbitrarily on the basis of random choice. Your choice changes on the basis of the personal whim. It is imperious or peremptory in your decision. It is opacity, or we take up the next word which is very, very important, the word opacity. The word opacity means something which is quality of being obscure. Something which is obscure is hidden, it's not clear. Please write the synonym for this. Obscure is hidden. It is unknown. It is lacking transparency. It is latent. The meaning is not clear. When we read the poems of Emily Dickinson, they are very having opacity. Gamble is you take a chance for something, this thing could happen or this thing could not happen. Note the root taut. Please note, very important root. Taut is twist or turn. Life is a tortuous game. Seen this situation? This is called meandering. In a zigzag state, in a state which is exclusively lengthy, which is very complex, which is convoluted, roundabout, full of twists and turns, something twisting, winding, curving and bending, sinuous, zigzag form, not in a straight line, not in a format of in a sequence, right? So, taking up the last words in this scenario, Recessionary, which is relating to a particular period, usually at least 6 months or low economic activity. It's a period when investment is very low, it's everything is in a stagnant state, there's no growth. When there's no growth, people are in a very dilemmatic situation. There is no growth, receding or moving away, people lose their jobs, people are not able to grow in life. That is recession. Reckon. Reckon is to consider or regard in a specific way, to consider something very important. You calculate or compute for that, that you consider something very important, you recognize the value of something, that is reckon. Deteriorate, which is the idiom we use? In vain. The popularity of the yesteryear superstar is now in vain, means becoming less, becoming degenerated, becoming decaying, not progressing at all, not in a higher state. That is the word deteriorate. Aggravate. Aggravate means making something increase, making something more valuable, something which is a problem, you increase that problem, you make that thing more intensified in things, you make something worsen in a very, very bad state, in a state which is intensified. You know, a bet is making something less, and this is making something higher, more in state. So it is a recession period because of the corona pandemic. There is no growth in the market or in business. You can reckon your mistakes and you can learn from them, and that is what makes you a complete human being. Don't deteriorate in your path of success. You have to climb high in the ascending scale and not fall down. And aggravate is making something, don't aggravate the problem. There are already so many problems on this earth. Don't aggravate things, don't make things in a very problematic situation. See, the words I've taken, because every time students ask me to recap the words, so I've taken up life is a gamble, life is a tortuous path, right? Opacity is where the poems are very opacious, means you're not able to read them in one go. You have to read between the lines, they're not lucid. See, lucid is clear. When I say lucid, it means it is having clarity. One go, one reading, you're able to understand that. Arbitrary is changing decision, dictatorship. You are giving someone's orders, you are a tyrant, despot, dictator, authoritative. You accept what you are saying is right and nothing else is right, right? And because you have the word tortuous, and I was talking of the word, I want to end up with one of the famous epigrams. Rolling stone gathers no moss. I repeat, rolling stone gathers no moss. So my dear students, don't roll here and there. Don't join any subscription. Law Prep offers you wonders and vistas of knowledge and more words, tones of passage, color idioms, and many more things are coming up in the next classes. And please await that. Please do. Keep your fingers crossed that the world is passing through a very difficult stage. We have to come out of it, and not only come out of it, but come out victorious. Right, students? Thank you for today.